So what's going on, everybody? I wasn't going to do it tonight, but the guilt just overwhelmed me, and I said, we got to do it. So if you show up and they show up, awesome. So hello, how's everyone doing tonight? What was the weekend like for you guys? Yeah, maybe you should have practiced first. If I practice first, what would be the point in that? Because I mean, I don't practice before I go do the call or record it, which is why probably it takes so long to edit it down sometimes. Had to go pick up a garage light for the barn. It wasn't working in the front there, and I decided as I got back, I'm like, man, it's 8:15. I don't want to, but I want to. You ever get that feeling you don't want to, but you want to? Maybe I shouldn't pick Sunday. Sundays always have been a crappy night for me. It's always depressing because you got to go back to work and it's over, but you know, but midweek, and it's like, well, hey, I made it already. Look at it, it's already Wednesday, and we're almost there. So, you know, I don't know, anybody else got that thing going on? So, anybody get a chance to check out that last video I did at the grocery store there? That was one I posted under my old name once before, and I think it's not up right now, but that one seemed to do pretty well, and it looks like it's doing fairly well on this one. Wasn't super high tech, but definitely took a long freaking time to do it. Doing the melting of the ice thing isn't too bad with hot water. It'll work with cold, but it took forever. And thank goodness went back. I knew that there was more things that need to be done. I have a hard time stopping when I get started on something. I always feel like going back is such a waste because you got to drive all the way back and then start all over again, and it, I don't know. I just did as much as I could, and I knew there was probably more that needed to be done, and sure enough, there was. I noticed, you know, like the one I had it already at 3, and I think it used to be at 2 defrost. And, you know, the whole thing with this grocery store is I'd never been there other than that one time prior to. Other people had been taking care of it. And I assumed since they'd been doing it longer than me, they would have known what it took to get the job done. They were trying to save energy costs as far as not doing any more defrosts than what they needed to. And that was why they had just 2 defrosts or whatever. But yeah, I ended up going to 3 on the other one, and it seemed like it was doing better. Probably should maybe put it at 4, but I don't know. If I go back, I may switch it to 4. That's what we do usually for most box walk-in freezers. With that being a reach-in and not near as busy as what a grocery store is, they may be all right at 3. I mean, they were using 2 before. I think a lot of it was the drain heater there. That and just the horrible drainage that goes outside onto the parking lot there. That was just a horrible, horrible design, but we've quoted digging a hole into the floor and running it over to a sub pump, then pump it up and over. So how's it going, JD and Samuel? And HVAC J, HVAC everything HVAC. Serve info, Ahmed. What else do we got? We got John Harrell, I think that is. Loki Windango and Chris Young. And some of the other ones there. It looks like Jeremy Morales and a few others. So welcome, guys, and thanks for stopping in. Just thought we'd hang out for a little bit and things go somewhere great. And if not, you know, at least I stopped in and said hi and at least let you know I was still alive and she didn't kill me yet. So she didn't feel like doing it tonight. I didn't really, but I was like, I got my new bag thing. So if you guys are on HVAC Survival Facebook page, I did get my backpack. I've been wanting a backpack forever. I actually seen the video before you guys did that Chris made because he had done one. He didn't even tell me he'd gotten the regular MC. So I ended up getting the Blackout MC, which was kind of what I wanted originally in the full size, but the full size I think is just going to be way too big. Honestly, this has got the same amount of tools that I had in my TPXL, and it weighs 30 freaking pounds. So, you know, when I work out and stuff, you know, I do as much as 50 pounds per arm doing curls and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, I suppose I can just get better at it. I don't know. It's a pretty cool bag. I mean, you can yank things out of it, the panels and stuff, which was the reason why I upgraded. You can yank those out and switch it to a laptop or whatever, which my laptop won't fit in there. Mine's way too big. I was able to fit the drill back in there. And there's plenty of extra spots in there. couple things I noticed though on it that I don't know if I like. Looking at the bottom of it, they put rivets in there, and I think they might have screwed up royally if you're going to set it down in a basement that has some water and things like that. For $280 and made in China, you think they would be a little smarter than to put rivets in the bottom. That was kind of stupid. Hopefully it doesn't cause issues later. And then they also punctured the side by putting rivets on that bottom piece there. Otherwise, it's really well built, and I really like it. You know, it's pretty sweet. I think I might still end up using a little bag for other things, but when I've got things that are going to be on the roof further away, things like that, I think I'm going to enjoy having it on my back. There's a lot of times where it's just on the shoulder, it just gets so heavy. I've heard it's kind of a pain sometimes going through the roof hatches and things like that, which then you have to rope it up, or you can probably carry it under your arm, which I've done that too with it and stuff, and it seems to work okay and things like that too. Plus I got that free meter bag 3, which is practically a small duffel bag. I mean, the thing's really big. That's coming for free. JD, I looked at that TPXL, triple XL, and that thing is double the size of that TPXL. That thing's humongous. So I thought, man, I don't know. A lot of the electricians and stuff seem to go with it. No, Loki, that is a Vito right there. That's just the Vito MC, well, it's the Pro Pac Tec Pac MC Blackout. So it's the same as the MC Tec Pac, but the Blackout adds another $50, $40 to it. And the removable panels, which I figured I'd regret it if I didn't get what I wanted the first time. I mean, if you're gonna spend that much money, you might as well get what you want. And I figured you got to get it out of my system. I bought a cheap one that I never even used it. I got it on sale, and it was a horrible layout. I need to throw it on Marketplace or something, just get rid of it. It's probably like a $60, $50 one. It was on sale for like $30. I got it, and it had a laptop spot and stuff, and I just never end up using it. So I thought, I'll just, because really the TP4B that I was using was really light, fit it on the counter. I have a funny feeling that I'm not going to like the way it's not going to fit on the counters and stuff where I'm working at, things like that. So hopefully it works out. I really don't want to send it back because I've pretty well kept it in the house so far, but I think it'll be kind of cool. So what else we got going on out there, guys? You didn't really say a whole lot, whether you checked out the video or it sucked or whatever the case. What's up, Hughes man? Mr. Vacation. It looks like you enjoyed the Las Vegas vacation there, man. That would be kind of useful for me. I wouldn't mind going away, getting out of this freaking place. We haven't gone nowhere for quite a long time, and a real vacation has been probably 10, 15 years, because usually I don't go anywhere because I just go. So I like to visit everything, and that's not what the other one likes to do. She wants to relax, and that's the last thing I want to do. I want to go and see things that I don't get to see normally. So I did get to get some riding in yesterday on the motorcycle and stuff. It was halfway decent. I think 55, 60 degrees here. But today it was all windy and rainy, just like usual. So it'll probably be perfect tomorrow. But yeah. Yeah, it looks like a couple of you are waiting on that TPXL 2. So that I heard quite a few of them weren't in stock yet and stuff. Let's jump over to here on the video section. Taboo drain line. I renamed this reach-in or walk-in freezer thing a couple times, just playing with names, playing with pictures, seeing if it makes a difference. That was kind of a basic one too. Just ain't a whole lot going on right now. Honestly, a lot of these videos have been setting for a while. The drain line thing, I've done a lot of the residential lately. And so I heard quite a few people say they'd like to see the other stuff. So I figured we'll go back to that. With the taboo drain line, that one there where I ran it in PVC, I think it flipped quite a few people out. We do things in copper when we're doing like schools or industrial stuff, things like that, where, they're going to be crazy in there. But the places where we've used the plastic at are usually like a few of the restaurants that we do a lot of stuff at almost daily. So if there was ever an issue, we could just chop it and go. And if you notice too, a lot of the times we're running that right out the back of the cooler, and it's less than maybe 4 foot, to 7 foot of PVC piping, and it's straight for the most part. I wouldn't recommend trying to run that drain heater through, you know, down the wall, across the wall, up the wall, and stuff like that. It just wouldn't work out very well. You know, I don't know if we kind of got the idea from doing it from the true freezers. They don't insulate it. They just run a little less than a couple watt heater down the drain line, right to down to the out of the back of the freezer. And honestly, that thing is lucky if it goes into the wall, which is not heated back air, much more than maybe an inch and a half. And it seems to work out. Now, granted, it's almost a 90-degree drop, so it seems to work out pretty good. But that was one that I figured I'd catch a little more slack on it, a little bit of attitude in it, because I figured I'd get jumped for it. But, you know, it's the way the guys were doing it way before I came along, and so I just do it the way they do it. Otherwise, I've seen it ran in copper. I've seen them run it down the wall and across the river and through the woods to grandmother's house it goes, and the stupid thing still splits. I don't care whether it's copper or not, but the only thing being copper is going to get you is, yeah, they can smack it a little harder. But far as whether it's going to break or not, copper's going to bust just like plastic will bust. And honestly, PEX piping is probably the best thing if you really are that worried about it breaking. We've ran several drain lines in PEX and attics and stuff like that. So we've never done that here at this company, but it's just stuff I've seen in the past. A little bit of everything kind of works sometimes. A lot of times you don't know if it's going to work unless you try it. So a lot of things are experimental, things like that. You know, that little trap on the outside is just enough to keep the bugs from getting in there and any type of humidity working its way back into the freezer. But that was a fairly simple one. That guy usually takes care of most of his equipment at the bar / restaurant there where that walk-in was for the drain line. He's a really cool dude. You heard him in the middle there say bye to me and things like that. He's a really easy to get along with kind of guy. He's got a lot of those coolers and things that I work on. And, you know, he doesn't mind me recording and stuff like that, which works out really great too. But it was just something to show. And then the reaching glass freezer thing there, that one there, I mean, I have one that I did last time I was on call. Basically, it was just kind of tracking down some issues. Once again, it was another leak, and it was just tightening up a sight glass on the liquid line, but I don't know if I should show it or not, just because I'm afraid I might make one of the persons unhappy if I did. It's not like, you know, it's anything top secret or anything like that, but you just try not to rock the boat more than you have to, which I go back on call tomorrow, so we'll see how next week goes, whether or not I get hit in the on the Sunday, and whether that causes any issues then. So got one. It's kind of funny to see some of these comments that I've got here on some of the older videos. Abraham Langen's "We Need Jim Back." And it's like, it's one of my older ones where I talked about some of the things Jim did that he got criticized for. And it's always cool to see the support for him and stuff. I wish he knew that there was quite a few out there that supported what he did. Then he could come back out, because he's just trying to share his information with people. So that's just, I think, what most of us are all trying to do. I don't think any of us think we're super geniuses or anything like that. There's always somebody that's going to know more, and there's always going to be somebody that, you know, can find something you did wrong. Well, we all don't do everything perfect. So what we got going on here? Haven't really been staring at what you've been writing. What's up, Curious ZZ Top Dude? Got an Apache case from Harbor Freight. Cool. I've checked that case out. They now say it's not waterproof, like, you know, it's water resistant, but for the price they're charging for it, it's hardly a bad deal. It's a really good deal. HVAC and electrical with ZSA. So yep. So what else we got? Yep, Dave John Solano. Yep. Jim was awesome. You know, his videos were kind of long and stuff, but, you know, it was just him showing what he did and just let it roll. And I always enjoyed him. You could always hit that right to the right arrow button. You can jump programmable 5, 10, 15 seconds, whatever you want. So that's the easiest way to zoom through there a little bit and get to what you're looking for. So yeah, lots of stuff. Chip clips. Interesting. All kinds of craziness going on there. I say craziness. I'm not crazy. I was crazy once. They locked me in a rubber room. I'm not crazy. I was crazy once. So, yep. So come on, guys. What is going on? What have you guys been doing? Anything to talk about out there? Because I can talk about anything. I mean, I just pretend that I'm by myself and I just act normal. Talk about nothing. Hey, Autotech Mechanical. Looks like you might be a new speaker on here. And Julio, I don't think I've seen you before, man. Welcome aboard. Pretty much my other partner there just didn't feel like coming down, so I am just going to doggy paddle here until we find something to talk about. Mild weather and PMs. I hear you there. Steve-O, it really hasn't been nothing exciting here. It's been kind of mediocre weather, but it's been better than what it's been. But you're far from normal. That is correct. You know what? I'm all out of water. I have one emergency water back there, though. Yeah, I seen that, Hughes, man. You're hanging some heaters and stuff. Is that for like the back rooms of one of the stores or something? Or are you doing some side work there? Or what's going on with that? So, I got my water. Heck yeah, man. Got to pay for those gambling debts you got going on. So, as you've seen, I want to be like you, Ryan. I got the little Ryan pack, you know, the little Ryan. So yeah, wish there's a way I can get my embroidery done on there, man. There's just isn't any room on there to do that, I guess, from what I'm being told. Yeah, on that door. As far as what I assume you're talking about the one in the video, I didn't even bother. That thing is in such bad shape. If you looked at the hinges and stuff, you'd see there's rust down there in the bottom. There's just not much you can do with it. I think the doors are tweaked. They don't want to close on their own, so it's there's no spring return, nothing like that. So I didn't bother with it. And the guy's he knows there's issues. I just come right up and tell him. I'm like, look, man. You know you got problems with this thing. So how much time and how much money do you want in it? Do you want to just make it run? Do you want to like rebuild it? What do you want to do? And generally they're just like, let's just get it running. So that's generally what they say. Hughes, man, I just showed it a minute ago. You were late to the party, man. It's the MC version. Still freaking weighs 30 freaking pounds though, man. It's a lot smaller than yours, so to put it on, it's not that big, so kind of, yeah, but that's, it's basically exactly the same as yours, just a little smaller. I need to figure out a better way. One of the guys said something about using a magnet for my Milwaukee light here. For right now, what I did with this thing, I ended up putting a tie around the back of it and hooked it on that way. I ended up getting the smaller battery this weekend. I picked up some on Marketplace, 2 brand new ones for $20 a piece for the 2.0s, and that thing is freaking super bright, as you can see. Boy, that camera does good. Holy crap. So that's 700 looms right into the camera, and it doesn't even screw up my face. That is unbelievable. Holy cow. So it's amazing how much this crap adds to the weight overall. The bag weighs 8 pounds empty, and I weighed the TPXL, and that thing weighed in about 4 pounds, 4.25, something like that. So I can't imagine just 4 measly pounds is what's making it seem so heavy. I might just be getting old and being a wuss. It's hard to say. 40 volt, holy crap, Zach. Ryobi 40 volt, 5 amp hour. Oh no. Dude, pick up a freaking little Milwaukee drill, man. You can get them for like $97, or you get the dual pack with the drill too. And, you know, though, out of all the cheap tools out there, that Ryobi stuff actually was pretty good. My ex-father-in-law had that stuff, and it did, I was really surprised. It's some of the better stuff. I'd take that over some of the other brands. The Craftsman, I thought, was actually made by Ryobi, possibly. I'm not 100% certain, but anyhow, what else we got going on out there? So add a socket set to mine. Cool. Yeah, I ain't carrying anything more than I need to. I mean, if you've ever noticed, the stuff I carry is very bare bone minimum. I keep a, and I try to go multi-facet tool that does multiple things. Like my favorite screwdriver, because I've always liked to have a dedicated screwdriver, is like my Klein here. It's a number 2 and a number 2 Phillips. So you can switch it around and make it as long as you need, which that gives you up to an 8-inch all the way down to 6-inch, which is why I like this thing so well. And then you pull that out and you got a square head available and a number 1 in Phillips in the other. So I try to condense. I don't carry more than 2 screwdrivers. I carry my 11 and 1, and then I just recently got 11/32 for some of the motors. 1 set of crescent, 1 set of the adjustable, 1 miniature set of the plumber's pliers, and I've lately been starting to put my probes in there and stuff. So that's something kind of cool that I've kind of always been leery about doing, and I love the small drills. I mean, that thing is way stronger than any of the way stronger than what we need. You put that thing in the hyper mode, I mean, you can hear, I hear somebody coming down here. See, first gear, second gear, third gear, and that's where it really whooped the crap out of the Bosch. So we're doing a show and tell here. What in the world are you doing? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here, Chloe. The dog has water for me. Ugh. Check it out. Or I assume it's maybe water.
It is.
Okay.
It's Velcro.
Okay. It's Velcro. It got sent to me on the back of a Frenchie. So, whoop, off it goes. So, was there a, thank you. Love you. She ain't coming in after all. I thought we had her. Not happening, I guess. Oh well, you're stuck with me now. So, what else we got going on here? Yeah, right, Daniel. It's all going on all right. I'm so excited I could just about poop. Do I use a headlamp? Yes, I do. I use it more when I'm working above ceilings more than any other time. I am a big fan of Phoenix with the 1680 batteries, rechargeable. The light that you always see in the video is rechargeable Phoenix. That thing has, you know, from about like a couple lume all the way up to, I think, 1200. And I own 4 of them. And same thing with the headlamp. That headlamp thing I've got is wicked. They both have the USB charging built into them, but I have a dedicated charger for them that reads digital readout and the voltage and stuff. It's the same battery a lot of the vapor guys use for their vape machines and stuff. Worst flame sensors removed, Joshua Timmons. Dude, looking back from my beginning years when Goodman was really bad, they had some of the hardest ones to get to because they put the screws where you had to literally take the whole flame box out, but they ain't that bad no more. They've changed things so much. They were probably the worst back then, but like I said, I worked for a Linux dealer that also sold Carrier, so majority of my equipment was Linux and Carrier. Then some of the people, because I worked for a few different people, and they all were employees of the first company I worked with, so we all knew each other. And, you know, they sold Ream and Rude, which is the same thing. And then, you know, the Carrier stuff is real popular around here along with the Linux, but the Linux is very proprietary. They're kind of only let a certain amount of people in their dealership program. So it's, you know, you're kind of locked in with them. So, yeah. No, Dave, she's not mad at me. She loves enough to send water, yeah. She knows she ain't on the life insurance policy yet, so she's waiting for that. So, yeah, it's all good. That was pretty good on the dog thing, though. That's pretty creative. What else? Yeah, engineered air flame sensors. Engineered air. Oh, yeah. Weaver, I have one of those engineered airs. Because when you look at it, it's kind of weird the way those Canadians did it. But of course, everything the Canadians do is a little odd. I have one video that I'm kind of waiting to finish the full project at that YMCA job where it's a dehumidification unit. I've got the compressor changeouts, the coaxials. I've thought about putting that thing together and showing it, but where am I not centered here? There we go. And I really need to wait because I really want to see it run. But to do it, I have to have the water tower full of water to do it. So I right now I've got it, I think maybe 50 pounds into it out of 120 that it holds. So I didn't want to go too berserko. Plus, when I come back, I can scan over the thing and make sure that we don't have any leaks, which I did a basic scan and stuff, and pressure and vacuum and all that, which I think we're good. But when you've got a lot of flare fittings like this thing's got, it very easily could leak once it's under higher pressure and stuff. So, hey, Frank, cool. Connecticut, what's up, man? That's awesome. It's always amazing some of the places I go. The craziest is when I start getting all these other countries and stuff that I've never been to and probably never will get to go to. So it's craziness. Yep, DeWalt angle tool. That's one of the other ones. That's the newer version, which is black. That thing is a lot smaller. I really like that version. Still got the old one, but those are the basic ones that I carry for almost every job. I mean, I don't carry very much. So it seems to be just transferring from one bag to the other is pretty simplistic and the same old thing. Kansas, excellent. Never been there either. I think the furthest west I've been, well, driven is furthest probably Minnesota, and then southwise I've been all the way to Florida and all the way over to Louisiana, all the way down Interstate 75. So I've been through all the states along the way through there. And then over Mississippi and stuff like that. So, and then up north all the way to Michigan, Wisconsin, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and I think those are the only ones to get over there. So, haven't got to do a bunch, but I hope to do some traveling a little bit this year with the motorcycle and stuff. The dad wants to go on multiple different trips. Like, he kind of forgets that I still work, but he wants to go around the Great Lakes. He wants to go down to the Smoky Mountains. He'd like to go out west to the West Coast, which that's way too far to drive, and it would take up way too much time. Yeah, if you want to smash your thumb button there, that's cool. If not, that's okay too. I understand. New Milwaukee tubing cutter. I haven't, what's special about it, Joshua? I mean, right now I've been using the Linux thing. When I got my stuff stolen, I basically picked up that one there. It does up to 1 1/8 inch, and it goes down to 1/8. And it's been a pretty good one. I think that might be the original cutting wheel, and I've had this thing for 4 years now. It don't track funny or anything like that. And it's small, so it seems to work pretty good. That was another one of those little pockets and stuff. Frenchie replay, yeah. You ain't allowed to talk. So, what else we got going on in here? Solder weld in your area? Yeah, we've got some solder weld. I got a small little sampler pack from Solder Weld. They sent me a hat, and I played with it, made a few videos on it. I was just figuring out how to do it, so I've debated whether or not what I might do is show how I can do when I'm good at, better at it now versus when I first did it, because even my crappy joints looked pretty decent. So it's kind of one of them things. It turned out really good because I was really experimenting with it. I've actually got the owner's cell phone number, and he's like, don't do it like you're used to doing it when you're doing aluminum. He's like, put the heat directly on it. You actually heat the rod up at the same time, and it's just not normal what you're used to. You're always used to heating up your base metal and have it pull into the joint. With that aluminum stuff on theirs, it don't. So it does a really cool job at copper. Alcop, and which is the copper and aluminum, and then the other one, alum something. I don't know. I hope to try it out. So hey Benjamin, what's up, buddy? Little Chingus and big picture HVACR. Hey now, cool. What was there? Was somebody said something there? Where is it there? I kind of have to move up there. When do you change your hose gaskets, Weaver? Before or after fingertip frostbite? I don't know if I've just went numb to it, but it takes a lot to make my fingers go frostbite anymore. I may just be used to it. But yeah, I hate when I have leakage, because if you noticed, I use the Yellow Jacket hoses, which my opinion is some of the best hoses out there. I like the ball valve on the end. Unfortunately, that makes them about $100 for 3 of them. But I don't get buzzed too much on it. And then what I really like about the probes is, you know, I really keep a close eye on the probes, rubber on those. I like them almost perfectly flush across the top. That way it just barely touches and pushes that Schrader core in, and you don't get any loss at all. And so that's what I like, if possible. And then even when you're dinking around and you're using these stubbies, I have several times where they have leaked. This one here, the little depressor in the middle doesn't seem to go down as far. And but it does really good too. I mean, on some of these racks and stuff, when you're working on the refrigeration for like a grocery store, they run a 14-pound or maybe a 20-pound suction. You literally can open it up, the freaking cap off, and hook it right up real quick, and may not even have a Schrader core in it because it's only running that amount of pressure. And I don't like it when that happens, because if something goes wrong, but I didn't know it when it happened. So I regret getting some of the thicker tools and stuff. I like the bigger handles, but man, it makes it a pain in the butt to get it in your bag. Tubing cutter cuts fast and really smooth, lots of sizes, Milwaukee only. You know what I've noticed though in Milwaukee is they're kind of trying to get into everything, and that's where I noticed, like, I bought a pair of their cutter strippers, and although they did pretty good, I noticed like I screwed the blade up in them, and then they didn't want to cut or close very smoothly. And then when you want to go get the warranty on it, they want to play games with you. Well, that's abuse. Well, that's not covered. Well, you know, kind of like Klein. Klein, depending on your distributor, they don't want to fill out the paperwork half the time. And from what I've been told, Klein is pretty good with their warranty, especially if it's a big store where they purchase a lot. They're pretty lenient with them. So, yeah. Yeah, Dave, I got that bag full price, no sponsorships. Nobody wanted to even work nothing out, so I'm not big enough yet. So no special deals other than Chris's discount. So big picture. Got me my 8%, which paid for my sales tax. But I ain't hating. I got my free bag coming, and they're pretty much MAP pricing. They all sell at the same rate across the board. I did buy me a cool new GPS tonight, though. Got me like a 6.9. Little things that make me happy sometimes. It's pretty crazy. I like things. I haven't bought nothing for so long. So what else we got in there? Brazing with bronze. Filler is similar. You actually have to play with the heat. I wouldn't doubt it, because with everything on that, Alexander, is just hand torch is what I was using on that. It doesn't take a lot of heat on it, which is pretty crazy. Because aluminum melts at such a crazy low temperature, and aluminum doesn't show a change in state. It'll go from solid to liquid like that. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. I've been wanting to get a TIG welder, but you know, this right here for our repairs and stuff is pretty awesome. Solder weld stuff's really cool. I like to show it off on maybe on a job where it's kind of like the delicate work, because that's not the brand we use. But my deal was, if I used it, I'd make sure that nothing else is in the video on that particular one. So on that one, whenever I get a chance to kind of showcase it in full, that's when I'll do it, which I think everybody's kind of seen it working so far, and it does a really good job. I'm really pleased with it. Now, granted, I haven't tried any of the other aluminum stuff. I tried getting hold of that Milwaukee or whatever, which is technically in Cleveland area. Once again, they don't get back to you. I need to figure out a better way to get a hold of them. I know I heard someone say they just do it through Messenger. I tried emailing them. I don't know. I feel like a beggar after a while too, which, you know, we do make some money on the videos, so it's like, you know, you are making money, but it'd be nice to like maybe get something for free and trade it, because I mean, you know what these people pay for advertising, just stupid. So 12 steps. My name is Dave, and I'm a toolaholic. Dude, I am with you 100%. If you ever need to talk to me, you just call me, and we will buy tools together. I promise. I'll be there for you to encourage you to spend everything you've got. It makes you a better tech. No, not really, but hey, it feels good to say it anyway. If it makes your job easier, makes your life go a little bit longer, what the heck? It's there's nothing wrong with nice tools. If it makes you feel pride in your work and stuff, I am all for it, because unfortunately there's just, you know, not as many people out there to do that. Yeah, there we go. Everything. I think 1100. My dad was a welder. And like I said before, they worked on the Abrams tank and stuff, so they did the striker and all that stuff. So they were doing aluminum, they doing high carbon steel, freaking all that crap. So he knows how to do all those things, but they weren't using no soldering rods like we're using. So it really most of the time was all wire welding. Yep. So I've got a resource there when I need it, but the brazing rod thing is definitely something new to him. Sell my treated 2x10s on eBay. Treated 2x10s on eBay. What are you talking about, Zach? I think I might sell my treated 2x on eBay. I don't know. I don't get it. I'm not very good at that, though. Reading's not my strong point. You guys seen that I picked up a couple different books, if you're on the Facebook page. I got the Steam Heat, what was that thing? Steam Heat, it's made by, or was by, let me look here real quick. Yeah, I'm really prepared. Let's look here. There it is. The Lost, God darn it, zoom in. The Lost Art of Steam Heating by Dan Houlihan. And then I showed off my commercial refrigeration or HVAC techs or whatever. That was the picture I showed it. So if you guys haven't subscribed to the HVAC survival thing, join that, because I pretty much am not using regular Facebook for people that I meet online. I really have tried to stay off Facebook anymore. It just is nothing but toxic, along with most of everything else online. So I'm using them like they use us to further my agenda. So it makes me feel better that way. So, wow, that's some crazy crap. But yeah, basically it's a safe space for HVAC guys that, want to help others. I'm not into the trashing of one another's. I mean, I have no problem, giving people crap, but that's kind of more when you know each other, more than just trying to just tear each other apart for craps and giggles. There's a reason why I do my videos, and a lot of it I think is my own dilemma of trying to learn the bigger stuff and how hard it is to get into it. So my way of getting restitution is to share what I do know with the other guys to try to help them out and try not to be that guy that held you back, things like that. So that's a lot of the reasoning behind it, between that and trying to get some free stuff in the original beginnings, which I accomplished that. Cool, mission accomplished. Now let's just have a good time with it and see what I can do with this thing, I guess. So, what does brass? You mean brass probably meld at? I am not sure. I am not a full-time welder. Reliable HVACR help each other. Hell yeah, man. I don't. None of us are in the same freaking area. At least most of us aren't. So what's the challenge? What's the problem? And even at that, there's so few of us out there that if we can encourage others to maybe go into the field, that is, I think that was going to be one of the things that I might try to do a little bit more in my videos, is to maybe entice the new guys into the cool parts of it, because I don't show that in my videos. I don't show the freedom that we have when we're going between calls, especially when we get some seat time, when you're getting paid to drive for half an hour to an hour to the next call, which means you're going to get paid an hour to come back. So look at that. Out of the 8 hours, you only have to work 6. I mean, it's that, and that's just one of many calls that you're going to go throughout the day. And that's just one of the many things that's awesome about the field. And that's, those are some of the things maybe if I showed more, maybe I can entice more younger people to get into the field, which we're going to be looking for another person now too at our shop and stuff. So if you're in Ohio or want to move to northwestern Ohio, email me. So if we get a residential guy, we can maybe move some of our residential guys into the commercial, or we can get the commercial into whatever. But we're always looking. If we ever get somebody in there that's good, they'll make a spot. That's how they are. So, but yeah, we're going to be needing somebody big time here this summer, because we took on our Stolding stuff. Stolding came in, trained the whole service department, at least on the basics of it. So from what I've been told, that we're going to be covering all the way from what it was before. If it's like what it is, it could be all the way up to Toledo, all the way to freaking the middle of Ohio, and down to Bell Fountain, which is pretty much truly the quarter of freaking Ohio. And if that happens, that could really stretch us super, super thin, which we've got 2 other company guys that are kind of like they're single owner guys, and they're handling our northern and eastern areas there that have been doing it for a while, which frees us up. So not sure how that's going to turn out this summer. So I'm waiting for it because a lot of places are just now opening up. A lot of them had done it at the beginning. A few of them are doing it towards the end. So Tony, that's awesome, man, coming out of training to your son. I wish I could get mine into it. I think he would do good at it. It's really funny. He was never interested in this stuff. He was really never interested in cars, not interested in anything mechanical. Then all of a sudden he starts working on cars. He starts playing with radios, starts doing all this crap that I did when I was 14, but hasn't got the bug to do what I do, which I kind of thought it'd be cool if maybe he's seen some of the cool things I did. But then again, some of the stuff I show is always in the bad parts, getting stuck and never knowing what time you get off, never knowing what time or what you're going to run into, which to me, I don't mind it. It's done when you're done, and that's just one of those things that happens. So, what's your site called? Can't find it. Mike, read. HVACR Survival. Search for the group. You got to apply, agree to the rules, which means you'll be cool with everybody. And that's, other than just basic questions, because I'm trying to keep it mainly just service guys only. I really don't want DIY. I'm not going to go through a lot of questions because people can look the stuff up. What's superheat? How do you check subcooling? It's you search that, you're going to find it online. You'll know it as soon as they start asking some silly questions, and it's like, okay, you don't even know the basics here. So, James Brown in the house. I feel good. Yep. So, no problem. Cool. Yeah. Yep. Look that up under the Facebook thing. I post things in there sometimes of just things that may not be worth going full bore on. Like I showed that book. I share whenever to do the videos. Hughes Mann's put a few things in there, a couple carts and stuff that he's done. Had one guy, ask about journeyman stuff. Brett Wetzel, I've been letting him do a couple of his advertisements, at least one a week. I've had a few other ones where I was doing that compressor change and stuff. So, Adam posted some stuff on the Nylog. So, the more people we get in there, the more we can get more things going. For right now, it's small. I'm 142 members. So it's not crazy big right yet. But, it's actually, here's a couple new ones. Lives in New Orleans. Do you agree to the group rules? No response. That's not good. So there's certain things there you kind of got to go through. And governmental regulations. Yeah, that's always great. Yeah, we'll approve him. And then air conditioner repairman, years in the field, 20, agree, approved. That's simple. So, yep, it's all good. So what else we got going on here? Yeah, Mr. Iceman, it is just Facebook because I know a lot of people track me down. Thanks, JD. You didn't have to do that, man. People track me down for my personal account, and you never know what I might have in there. There's all kinds of conspiracies and stuff of all the crazy things I did. So I usually just rather everybody communicate through that one there. It gives me full immunity. So what else we got going on? Try me. What else? Frank. How different areas of the country do different things. Stuff that's installed. Absolutely, man. I've seen that too myself. And not to mention the equipment that is different. Like in our area, it'd be crazy to put an 80 in, and down south, that's all they do is 80s, but it's not real freaking cold there either. So it's just what you're used to. It don't make it right or wrong. It's just a different thing. No, James, she's actually probably watching. She sent the Frenchie to bring me a water a little bit ago. If you back it up, you'll see that it was strapped to its back. We're working the dog like a dog. So Kilpatrick there. Cool. Yeah, man. I am horrible with names. I don't even read customer names. I can tell you where they had the keys at on their counter. I can tell you where the picture was on their wall, but I can't tell you their name. I am horrible with names. Totally horrible with names. I don't even read them. I can have a full conversation, as you can tell, without even knowing their name. It's not hard at all for me anyhow. So, Mr. Homeowner, I don't do that. No, I'm kidding. So, yep, home serve. Who's relaxing? Her? She's probably relaxing. She's up there watching TV and stuff, watching this crazy guy on TV like me. So, but does not appreciate more descriptive answers than yes or no. No, it's got a couple spots, Dave, where you can fill it out, because I think it's it leaves a few spots there. I kind of copied the best of everyone's out there, of their groups, and figured what one applied to me best. And so I figured it was kind of one of them things, whatever it took to keep myself out of trouble too. I don't want nothing that's going to get me responsible for something stupid. I'm real big in like not getting blamed for other people's misdoings. If you're an HVAC tech, I just want to tell you you're appreciated. Yes, I am an HVAC tech. That's what I am. That's what I'll always be. I ran service department, but I also ran calls. And although I learned a lot, it also taught me that I really didn't want to do my own business. I seen how hard it was to get constant work, especially when you've got 8 or 10 guys counting on you. And granted, it wasn't 100% on me, but when we got slow, for us, we get slow in right now. Usually February and March are usually the worst here in Ohio. April, we can start doing our service checks if it's halfway warm, which a lot of times we'll just write that it was cold outside. That way, if there is an issue, they won't get charged for going back. But yeah, I enjoyed that. I did that for 8 years. I ran my own DJ business, mowing business, a little bit of everything. And although it's neat to have some of those things, I'm very well compensated where I'm at, so I don't really have any reason to go anywhere. Everything's really good where I'm at. So it's just like working for yourself. I mean, literally, I don't talk to anybody if I don't want to. I mean, it's dispatcher and me. I don't talk to the owner ever. I worked there for a month and a half before I ever talked to him. So you're kind of responsible for your calls, and you're responsible for your callbacks. And so in all reality, even the boss man said this is the closest you'll be to owning your own company by being the way we're paid. So, when I'm there, I treat it like it's mine. They're good to me, so I'm going to be good to them and look out for the company, and which looks out for me. So, unfortunately, I know a lot of people, from what I'm like hearing out there, some of the hate I hear between union versus non-union, stuff like that. I think there's probably a lot of companies out there that don't treat them as good as what ours has done. So, Mr. Ice, basically it's like a commission base. It's a percentage of whatever the ticket is. But if I told you our hourly rate, you'd be like, how are you guys even in business? Because, I mean, we are cheap. Granted, we charge from the time we leave until we get back, and we charge for our mileage and stuff, which is just common business sense. But we're not very expensive. Our plumbing department charges more than we do, which I don't understand. So whatever. But yeah, it's incentive. I mean, it's not like that dirty commission stuff. We charge an hourly rate. We're time and material. We don't do flat rate or anything like that. So, which you can do your flat rate honestly if you go through and modify it, but it's more trouble than it's worth. I mean, it's really no different than quoting something. Just you got to know all the stuff. Stoning is not cheap. No, there ain't. And honestly, I feel as though we should charge more for the stoning stuff, any ice cream specialty stuff. We do charge more for our industrial. I think it's like another $8 an hour or something like that over just commercial and stuff. Chris, if you want to email me or something or whatever, we can communicate that way. I don't think we keep anything hidden, but I don't want to go too crazy into it because you never know who's out there and stuff like that. So just ain't nothing super special about it. But yeah, it's just, let's say we charge $70 an hour, whatever, and I will give you 50% of whatever we make. Okay, cool. You go out and do it, and you take the responsibility for it. There's your 50%. I take 50, you take 50. It's something like that. And then, that's about it. So it's kind of interesting. I mean, there's not really much to it. It's really no different than hourly or just regular at hourly. So I was talking to the whole chat. Oh, okay. My bad, Ben. My bad. So, yep. What else? Cool. Is there a YouTube channel for Flute Players Club? I bet, yeah, there actually is Flute channels out there. I've told her if she wants to use my equipment to do it, she can. She's actually done some videos for her labor and delivery stuff, and basically has done it on her iPad, which I'm amazed at some of these guys that are doing stuff on their tablets and phones and doing their whole editing, because I literally do it on my Dell computer here. So Ike, I am doing good, man. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. I'm not real excited about going back to work tomorrow, but you know what? Once tomorrow's here, it won't be no big deal. I have no clue what I'm going to be doing. I never do. And sometimes it's better that way. That way you can't dread it. So, and the person that dispatches us doesn't like to tell us in advance anyway. She's like, well, you'll go to that call without me telling you where to go. She likes to make sure she's in control. So, yep. Joshua, pleated filters, non-pleated filters. What's the difference? Well, pleated filter is going to get you more surface area. So if you got a flat filter and it's this wide versus a pleated filter that is got the V's in it, what you're doing is you are getting more surface area. See how that's shorter? Now you've got all that space going up and down, so you've got more capacity now. And basically you'll get more long life out of it, which most of the time we try to sell a 5-inch filter box. That's my preferred thing. That way people don't have to worry about it for at least a year usually. So yeah, but pleated at the least. Don't go stupid pleated though, because then it plugs up so quickly that you're back out for limit trips and things like that. So Mr. Ice, yeah, she has actually been there 29 years. She's pretty smart. She probably, I told her, because I mean, she's like not really wanting to dispatch again because it's kind of stressful. And I told her, I said, we'll throw your butt in a truck. Well, and she's a real small little thing. She's not very strong. She's like, I wouldn't be able to lift all this stuff. I said, half of it's brain power. I said, you know, you'd be fine. I said, hell, we have you doing service checks or something. But yeah, it's she actually knows what's going on. And, you know, it took a lot, and it really created some friction at first between me and her, was me trusting her to order the right parts and things like that. And I had never been able to count on somebody to make sure that we're going back, make sure that we got the right parts. I've just never been able to count on somebody. And so that created some friction. And I don't worry about none of my calls. If we haven't gone back, it's because there's a reason for it and it's taken care of. So yeah, we're pretty lucky with the one we got. We hired one a while back, and that didn't last very long. And I'm not looking forward if we end up doing that again. Thoughts on the new Fandangle IAQ products? I like Fresh Air and Good Merv Q1. Yeah, I've got me a space or a Air Bear style filter, 5-inch, and a ultraviolet light, which you've seen Laura install, and that's all we got. It does good job. I'd like to try out the bipolar ionizer thing, but I think what I've got is probably better. I gave them the opportunity to send me one, and they didn't respond either, so screw them. As far as I'm concerned, I think I have the best. So it works, and Laura can tell the difference, and she's got about everything wrong under the sun with her, so she can tell the difference, and it must be working. My unit on my house has -4 subcooling. That's great. Unlike a little pump in a liquid. Make sure your crap's accurate though, Ike. Make sure you're calibrated your thermometer and stuff and your gauges. You know, get your temperature out and check it against your tank and see if your gauge is accurate in the middle, because always zeroing it out isn't always necessarily the accurate way to find out. So you can always do it that way. So yep. NorCal Dave. Yeah, for real, dude. That would be funny. She was wanting to get me to do like a motorcycle ride with Dave somehow, like sync it somehow where we both are talking to each other on the motorcycles or something. I thought that'd be kind of cool, but not sure how much of an issue that would be. You could try to make it into a little movie or something, be kind of cool. But yeah, like driving along, all of a sudden, boom, what's that in the middle of the road? It's a baby TXV. It fell off a truck. You know, craziness. Just craziness, I know. I'm not crazy. I was crazy once. They locked me in a rubber room. So, yeah, let's see here. You guys ain't talking very much. You're just laughing at me. You need to quit it. Let's see here. Benjamin, I didn't see that. Have you come across many people not wanting to pay you for your work? All new customers are COD. If I have a one that I feel as though I'm feeling like, hey, there's something not right about these people, they throw out those hints and stuff, I'm collecting. You know, we get certain type of business owners that are new, where like we had one this week, the guy bought some Chinese cooler or something, and the part was maybe under warranty if you were a dealer for that company. He wanted us to get the part or do the warranty on it. It's like, no, we didn't sell it to you. It's not our product. We can't get the reimbursement. We're going to collect from you and you get reimbursed from the factory. That's the reason why it costs more to buy straight from us, because we take care of those things. You're paying for the convenience factor. So, yep, that's just one of those things. So yeah, we try to collect whenever we did. Yeah, there is sometimes, and it never fails. I mean, I've been nice and felt sorry for people and gave them a break and didn't collect, or purposely only collected half and then had them still screw you. So it, luckily I've never been on the hook for that, but in theory I probably could be. But they've been pretty good about not. So ticket once worked out great for me because I had a lot of experience. I could always get 40 with about 30 worth of work. Yeah, because I mean, that's how ours is. We get the double up time and stuff. So all those things make up for times when you're not getting overtime, because there's a lot of times I'm working at 5 o'clock for straight time and stuff like that. But when I look at the end of the year and I've made more money than I've made before, yeah, I'm doing good. How would you rank the Yellow Jacket against the Appian V-Twin versus the Hvac? I didn't know. Only one I've got is the Appian V-Twin. I have never tried the Yellow Jacket one, and I've not ever used the Hvac recovery machine. Maybe I'll talk to my guy at Hvac and see if I can get one. The V-Twin stuff is pretty good stuff. Nice thing about those machines is they're easy to rebuild, cheap to rebuild, and they do work. I mean, they do a really good job. So I mean, I can't complain at all. Headlock all customers. You know, use bad. I mean, there's times where you'd like to. I've never gotten to that before. I've had one that was being a total jerk at me not too long ago, and I just kept on walking. I should have just turned around, and I had a part for their boiler, and it was a contract job. And basically, he said quite a few things that weren't true, and I should have just turned around and not said anything and just left. And he could be cold for a little bit longer. I hate lazy state workers. So anyhow, let's see here. Hvac needs a battery operated recovery machine to go with a vacuum pump. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen the need for that thing. I wouldn't mind trying out the battery thing. I've never used one. There's no Hvac dealers around my area, so anything if I'd want to get it would have to be bought online. But there's nobody around here that, for the most part that I know of, that sells it. If they do, they ain't stocking anything. Most people haven't seen half the stuff that we use on these videos. They like see the big blue hoses and they're like, what in the world is that? And it's like, yeah, his eyes got like this big. I'm like, that's not a hose, dude. He goes, I got a 12 CFM pump. I said, what kind of hose you got? Just a regular ones. I said, you ain't getting more than maybe, I think it's a 1.5 or 2 CFM through that freaking hoses. I showed him those hoses. He's like, whoa, what the heck? I'm like, dude, this right here will make all the difference in the world. So what in the world? I was changing the thermostat, forgot to turn off the breaker. Now it's not working. That ain't good, David. It might be shorted cables. Could you advise? Check your fuse on your furnace, man. Definitely kill power next time. Just go back to the furnace, double check your collars, make sure they're the same. I assume you're in the field, hopefully. So, is it worth getting a manometer? Hughes, man, you didn't have to do that, man. Thank you. Gee, is it worth getting a manometer with a pump? I have the field piece one with the pump. got it after my tools were stolen. That is one thing bad about having everything in multiple veto bags. It makes it very convenient for the guy to steal your stuff. That's why I like using a toolbox, because when they want to steal it, then they have to literally grab piece by piece off the shelf. Makes it a lot harder, slows them down, more likely to not get all your stuff. What ticked me off the most was when they walked away with my little MC bag. I had a Tec LC, I think it was. They got that, and in those bags I had my freaking manometers. I had they got my digital gauges. They got my analog gauges. They got my Flute Megger. They got pretty much all the tools I use every day, and that was a sinking feeling I don't ever want to go through again, which is why I got an alarm on it. It's why I built my barn. It's why I've got an alarm system on the barn tied in with the house. So it hopefully never happens again. I put my own slick locks on it. So yeah, you gotta just try to protect yourself wherever you can. Hoses on a mini split. Use a TXV or a piston. Mr. Conservation. Depends. I've seen some of the older Mitsubishis use piston. So else has 30 subcooling. Is that good for a 20-year-old unit? What might be wrong, Joshua? Chances are, I'd be curious to know what SEER unit you got, and is it a higher SEER outdoor unit versus the indoor unit? Because a lot of times I know around here we had 8 SEER coils, maybe if you're lucky 10 SEER coils, and guys are putting 12 and 14 SEER on them on the outside unit, and it don't work very well. Just does not work out very well at all for some reason. So subcooling, I mean, basically you're flooding your condenser. So there must be a reason. I would assume they're trying to push up the suction pressure possibly. Is it a metering device? Is it a fixed metering device, or is it TXV? Because, I mean, there's so many things there that, could be there. It just really depends. Yeah, I hate when I accidentally get into y'all's conversation there and think you're talking to me. So, anyhow, what else we got? Pro C, like ton restaurant managers. They are COD, how much the service call will cost, and it's always, holy crap. They still pay. Yeah, I hate having to do that on that. There's some bars and stuff that we'll do that on, things like that, just got to. Unfortunately, especially with what was going on not too long ago. A lot of them guys didn't know if they're going to be allowed to be open not too long ago. Yeah, so not a whole lot there. 4-way valve and EXV. Alaska, what's up, buddy? I haven't seen you in here for a little bit yet. Yeah, Joshua. 18 SEER outdoor unit, 6 SEER indoor. Changed a freaking coil, man. That definitely would be your problem. I acid washing my coil this weekend, and after I was finished, my subcooling read 6, and superheat was -0.2. Carrier. Awesome. I have had a lot of TXVs on carriers not work very well. I think a lot of it might be when the guys are brazing in the suction line, they're not keeping that bulb cool. And I think it's driving that freaking piston into the brass possibly. It just seems like that's what's going on. Because I end up changing the TXV later, and especially the ones that aren't adjustable or whatever, you can't tear them apart just to see if there's anything sticking. So I've had quite a few that had super super low superheat, but the subcooling was fine. So especially in like some of the Infinity ones, those are always a treat because they calculate their own, and you check it, and you know what you got versus what the thermostat's telling you is not the same. So JC started on the journey as an HVAC tech. Asked my boss when I could start working on chillers. You're more brave. He said when a tank can fit in my perineum, he'll let me start. Not sure what being curious or not. You know, the chiller thing, I mean, I've been through it multiple times, and honestly, it's not going to be probably too bad. I just haven't had a chance. Like I said, it's going to be one of them things where you just run into it at night. I'm probably going to get into a lot more now here this summer. I'm pretty okay at the geothermal, so I should be all right at the chiller stuff, because all it is water cooled. My biggest thing is knowing what the desired water temperatures are for the process that they're using and stuff. What do we got here? She's 9:36. One Chloe and I to come online from the bed. I'll leave my mask off. No, that would be silly. Not to mention, probably wouldn't do very good on the internet connection. Probably not very well at all. So, boy, there's a bunch of stuff in here. Yep. All kinds of craziness going on. Nice. So, dirtiest job you've done, Loki. Dirtiest job. Let's see here. There was a steel factory where they melted down steel. They had the electromagnetic kettles where they melt the steel, and they once they got it out of that, they'd pour it, and then they would put it into like this long shaft-looking thing, and they had this big press that would boom, and they would constantly turn it and rotate it, and it was crazy red hot. And when they would quench it and stuff like that, it put fragmentations up in the air, and that was getting sucked into the air conditioning coil for the control room, which was an insulated little room. We had a 3-ton or 4-ton cooling in a probably 15-foot by maybe 15-foot little building, because they were in front of molten metal, and stuff like that. So it was crazy temperatures and stuff. That was probably one of them. Otherwise, any of these factories, we do a lot of manufacturing plants and stuff where they're building car parts or doing electrocoating or things like that. Any of those can be a lot of crazy powdery type crap and things like that that we might get into. Just depends. I mean, like I said, I could be on a residential one day and might leave there and go over to a factory and be in the middle of the factory down on production floor, or maybe I go out of there and I could be into a food processing plant. So, I mean, I've worked on more crazy crap here than I've ever worked anywhere else. I mean, we do so much different stuff. It's just, if you guys want to move to Northwestern Ohio, hook you up. So, what else we got? Yeah. Smack your thumb. Scream out loud. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Let's see here. What happens when we get 27 more likes? 134A hole. I like that. 134A hole. I like that. That is cool. Good name. I like that a lot. So, what do we got going on here? Boxes or briefs? Dude, really? You really want to know? I got these really nice Adidas ones that are form-fitted. So, there you go. Otherwise, it used to be boxers. So they're similar to a brief, but they're really nice because they don't go up your butt, but they're pretty expensive. So, what else we got going on here? JMR, did I ever get the in-laws figured out? As far as I know, it's figured out. We'll know here coming up in about a month or two. We'll start getting warm. Usually Labor Day is when the air conditioners start getting turned on. We last year did really good towards the end there for the humidity. So, I mean, as far as heat, the thing's unbelievable. I mean, I'm so tempted to do it. But, yeah, for right now, no. But, yeah, I think it's working fine. A matched number of watchers. Oh, gotcha. Cool. Yeah, and what's funny is when you look at the analytics, people are like going in and out. So one opens the door and one goes out the door. It's kind of crazy. Probably said, what the hell is this guy talking about? What the hell is this about? What's this live crap he's got going on? Why is he live? I don't know. Wash everything. You know what, though, JD? It depends on where you're at, because I've had some people in Pennsylvania say wash or wash it out. If you're going to wash it out, I don't know, just wash it out. Wash sounds, it's so hard to say that, wash. Wash is so much easier, you know? It's that Kentucky craziness, you know, because, I mean, I don't know. It's the improper English of my area. We've been called everything from Little Chicago to Little Detroit here. So, I mean, it's really hard to say. Molded chicken scraps. Yeah, we do some, actually, yeah, we've done some pig farms and we've done some chicken stuff too. Turkey farms too. That was kind of interesting. I never knew pigs had to be kept warm so much. They had a generator that I was there to work on. And pigs will like freeze to death real easy, I guess. So they got to keep it like 80 degrees or something crazy in a barn. So that generator had to run, otherwise they might have issues with the piggies dying, and that wouldn't be good. Because I forget how many head, I don't think they call them head, but how many little piggies they had in there. I thought he said like 3,000 or something like that, or a couple thousand, whatever. Hughes Man says his grandma said wars and wrestling. Yeah, my grandma said wrestling too. So, and she was in her 80s and loved to watch WWE. Loved Ric Flair and Macho. Actually, Macho wasn't on there, was he? But Flair and Macho, or I forget the other ones that were in there. I didn't like that as well as the WWF. I don't watch none of that crap no more. So, but yeah, she loved to get on there. She'd get all riled up. Bust him in the head, you know, crazy grandma. So she was always fun though. Used to spend the night up there and she'd make fried chicken and her famous noodles. And it would just be me and her, and we'd get to watch the wrestling stuff, spend the night. Good old times, way long ago. So, woke way to say straight cool. Air temp seems like great product. Haven't seen that. Cool. JD, is that bacon or is those hot dogs? What exactly is that? Yeah. Boy, J. Dave, just hit me with it all, man. You can't just call me a hillbilly, dude. We wash it out on the roof, you know. You got to see my spelling; it's horrible. So it's because I don't pronunciate it correctly. So plus, you got to remember too, half the time I'm not even paying attention to what I'm saying when I'm recording the video. I'm like thinking about stuff and just talking out loud, and you're watching it, which I did get me a new case for my GoPro because I busted a stupid thing. So I may start using the GoPro again a little bit. However, the camera, I think I might do a little better picture. I really should probably get a new video or new camera phone. The Note is getting a little war, but problem is, man, they're wanting like retarded prices for it. Where's the stream? Oh yeah, Samuel said that earlier. Then I came on shortly after he emailed me that. What else we got here? I'm still getting freaking views on that heat pump frozen up. Teas are very common. Put before traps so you can blow them out. Only issue happens when people often lose and replace the cap. That's exactly what I said in the video. I put a little piece of insulation in it. That stupid video has got like 87,000 freaking views. 87,000 views. I think people like to see ice on product because ice is on that one and it got the most views I've ever had out of anything. And then the reach-in freezer had ice shown. It's almost like ice is like the boobies of the equipment or something. And it's like a peep show and everybody like gets excited when they see the ice. I don't get it, but it's craziness. It's just craziness, I tell you. I'm crazy. I wasn't crazy once. English butchered, try Cajun country. I could imagine, Dave. I could imagine. I like it though. They're nice down there though. So, talking to myself, yeah. Wendango. I sometimes talk to myself. I'll even have arguments. I'm not sure which one wins. Whatever. Flute. They like to see the mental breakdown. I suppose if you're going to do it, you might as well do it in front of others and get paid to do it. So if that's what it does, it really ain't no different than when I was DJing. I used to go out there and show them how to do the stupid dances and stuff that they all, most people would have freaking known and stuff. Do you put air in a tire or wind? Oh, for goodness sakes, Alaska. Of course it's wind. So, no, I use my little blow up little thing in my Milwaukee little thing here. Ice are the boobies, and you get. Hey, speaking of that, don't be going to bed yet. So, let's see here. It's Sunday. The only one that listens when I talk to myself. Correct, JD. You know, and what's bad is when you get into argument with yourself, because they say don't answer yourself, but I think the worst is when you get in an argument. But when you feel like you won the argument, that's when I think you got something to worry about. And I've been pretty happy about winning the arguments. So, you know, it is what it is. Well, let's see here. You guys got anything else for me out there? We've made it an hour and 18 minutes, which is surprising. See, I did that with no problem at all. And we really didn't cover anything in particular other than my bag and then my little hooky job for my little flashlight there, and that my camera doesn't have an iris issue. Scroll back down. Cascade Refrigeration, never mess with it. Nope, just seen it in a book. Ice boobies, oh goodness gracious. Yeah, no, we do some weird stuff. There's this testing facility that we work at that has one of those freezers that goes really, really cold. And that one has a weird mixture of a couple oddball refrigerants that I've never heard of. And you would think you weigh it in, but with the way from what I was told, you literally weigh in so many pounds of pressure of one and so many pounds of pressure of the other. You're literally mixing refrigerants. So it's very crazy. Hey, Steve-O, everything HVACR. Dude, thanks for coming in, man. Have a good night. Be careful and have fun tomorrow. Yeah, no, I don't have a new flashlight. This is about as new as it gets. I got this last week, though. I haven't bought hardly anything at all lately. I'm starting to get doubles and things, and it's like I end up going back to what I had. Honestly, the Bosch light still has better bracket than what this has got. This is neat, but because it only goes that far, when you're on a furnace and you're on the side panel, it just doesn't get it where you want it at. I mean, it's not as good as the Bosch, because the Bosch would bend backwards. And I literally have a brand new Bosch in the house because I liked it so well, I bought an extra one. And that thing's like mint condition because I literally don't ever use it except for when I'm in the garage or something. And I use it for, she is hammering me on here. How horrible is that? He totally missed the play on words. Maybe I got it, but I just choose to ignore it. So whatever you're talking about. So, oh, Alaska's funny guy. I got it now. Ha, ha, ha. So, whatever. So, you guys got anything else for me out there? Any song, dance, or anything like that? Aeon units, Robert. I kind of like them, but there's a few of them that I don't like. I have one that I finally just erased it because I didn't know what I was doing. It was a digital scroll compressor that had lost the plates in it, and they had this crappy building management thing on it, and basically the thing was a pain in the butt. Hate when we get into these schools, they hire these outside companies to put their freaking control crap on that we don't ever see around here. And then you try to decipher it, and they're just like doing all kinds of funky stuff with it. Hughes Man is trying to get a sponsorship from Fleshlights. That would be interesting. New bag, yeah, JD, I probably will. I've been debating because, like I said, it was pretty heavy, 30 pounds. And I technically have a few spots where I could fit some other things in there. But that was kind of what I wanted anyway. So when I did a job that I needed to carry stuff back down to the truck, that I'd be able to have some room to put in there. But otherwise, I want to keep it pretty much as empty as possible. And that way, you know, I got it going in there. Dave, you're welcome, man. I try to... I don't really get that much crap, honestly. I'm used to it. I mean, in this field, you got to be ready to fight anyway, and it's not a big deal. I don't mind it if if I'm right about what I did, but if I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. I don't know everything, and I make mistakes, and sometimes I learn stuff, and then sometimes I'm just guessing when I say some things. I come back later and find out that I wasn't right, and it's like, okay, either you cut it out or you put on there that this is the correct thing. You just don't know everything. Not when you're doing as many different things as I'm doing. When you're specialize on one piece of equipment all the time, that's a lot easier, as you can see when I work on the Linux stuff. But I don't want to do the same old thing all the time, even though it's more stressful the other way around. You use walk-in buck. Man, the old tongue got dry. What do we got there? Washing machine. I don't know. I think I might call it a washing machine. Washing machine. Dave, I don't know, dude. It could be washing machine or a washing machine. I'm not sure. Refrigerant weight is a new word. All right, cool. Thanks, Hughes Man. You guys definitely check out Hughes Man's channel and stuff. I'm sure y'all probably already subscribed and stuff. So, thanks, Advanced Basher. Yeah, I know more than what I used to know. Be the best you can be. That's about all you can do. Learn something new. I feel like I've learned a lot in the last 6 years. I'm coming up on my 7th year at this place, and I've learned so many different things. Well, guys, I appreciate y'all. This is what you guys would see if I left it in there. One of these days, I'm going to do a where I screwed up everything at, because when I think about what I'm going to say, that's when I screw things up. Whereas if I just start talking, like I have no clue what I'm going to say next. It's just coming out. But when I think about what it is I'm going to say, that's when things get all twisted and stuff. So, and then everything goes to heck and it turns into a mess. Yeah. So, but I appreciate everyone coming out tonight, guys. Like I said, Laura didn't feel like it. I didn't feel like it either, but I have fun. I really felt dirty if I wouldn't have done it, and I'm glad I did. So thank you for coming out and making it worthwhile to do it. We've had about, I'm frozen. Oh, no, I'm not frozen. Had 70 some people, and I think we might even hit a peak of 80 or something, which that makes it all better. Because I mean, honestly, when nobody's watching, what's the point of doing it? The last few have been a little lower, but not everything's gonna be a ring dinger, and and a lot of the people have already been interviewed, so it is what it is. Just hangout time, I guess. If I can get somebody that wants to come on that has something that they think might be useful to other people, I'm all for it. I'm all about spreading the love around and stuff, and try to help others out and things like that. So other than that, guys, I think we're going to wrap this thing up. I am going to scroll my mousey over here and go to my end credits. And so I'm going to say goodnight to you guys. I appreciate you all watching. If you guys haven't subscribed to the HVACR Survival Facebook page, do it. Just go over there and click on it, and I'll check it out and get you guys approved through here, and I'll watch it when I get done here. We can always use more in there and stuff. And if you got stuff you think will be useful to the other guys, post it. It's not just mine. It's for you guys to put stuff in there too. So like I said, appreciate y'all coming in tonight. I had fun. Hopefully you did too. And until next week, like I said, I'm on call next week. So hopefully nothing goes wrong. But if it does, I'll at least give you guys a posting that says it ain't going to happen. So, all right, guys. Other than that, be safe out there. Have fun. And until next time, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thanks now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
I want to see motion, movement. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay?
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.